How's it going?
I'm doing really good. How's everything with you?
Oh, it's good. Thank you for coming out this afternoon. So my first question is, and this is an interesting one, given that you're now the Poet Laureate, you're born and raised in Albuquerque, right? Your
Old Town
family's
neighborhood.
Old Town. So what keeps you here as a creative?
There is the explanation that I loved, and I couldn't quite figure out how to say it on my own when I was younger. But when I finally got to UNM and I took a class at Levi Romero's, and he brought up the concept of querencia, like the love of the land and the land loves you. And I really feel that. I got to travel all across the United States reading poetry in my younger years, and there's nowhere like here.
So a little more about you. Give us a little short version of who you are, because you're a lot of things, but just as a creative, who are you?
First and foremost, I'm known as a poet. I started off writing short fiction, and I wanted to be a novelist when I first
I remember.
the Voces Writing Institute at the Hispanic Cultural Center when I was in the 10th grade. That was where I fell in love with poetry, when I saw how different it could be. Because I was really set on, and inspired by Rudolfo Anaya, and I was set on writing a novel. But then when I saw poetry, that was life-changing to me. That was like, I want to do that. And then from there, I grew up in a family of musicians, and so I started off, my creative side was playing music, learning to play guitar, starting in 6th grade, and combining those two loves, so art and music. I ended up becoming a radio DJ for KUNM. And so like my three main creative sides are music, poetry primarily, but then every week I host a radio show and curate cool set list. It's called the Spoken Word Hour, and my show is a feature of hip hop, poetry, traditional poetry, slam poetry, stand-up comedy, storytelling in music and rock songs and other popular music areas that people didn't realize. And so that's pretty much me right there.
Okay, so let's switch and talk a little bit about Albuquerque's creative scene. Describe it for me in 3 words.
Hidden, hardworking. I can't even do it in 3 words, but the depth of talent. There's so many, it's such a deep, vibrant scene in every artistic medium. I really think that there is more stuff going on in the underground. The scene is really just kind of getting back to like that grassroots and word of mouth and handing out flyers, social media, and people showing up at a random pop-up performance. And it's really and it's very unique.
Yeah, I agree. Where do you find inspiration in Albuquerque?
A lot of my poems, much of the themes are based around family. Like when I think about my family and the way I was raised by an older generation, I had neighbors that lived to 90, 100 years old, and they were all a close-knit part, and we were all a very tight community that way. And those types of socializations were where I learned a lot of my poetic technique. That was a sense of duty also I felt with my writing, and also with the inspiration was that if I don't write these stories down, they're just gonna go away.
All right, so these conversations are part of our bigger campaign that we're doing to invite people to take part in the arts. So now this is our bonus round here, where you're going to give us all your recommendations.
Okay,
all right?
cool.
Are you ready?
All right, let's see.
Must read Albuquerque book or writer?
Jimmy Santiago Baca's epic poem. It's like a novel. It's just like one long poem. It's Martin and Meditations on the South Valley.
All right.
If somebody reads that, they're going to know a lot more about the city. Yeah.
Nice. Albuquerque band or DJ that inspires?
He hasn't performed in a long time, but it was Jason Daniello. His band's called Jason and the Argonauts. He used to play for Poetry and Beer, and he is amazing, incredible.
All right. Must see Albuquerque Arts or Cultural Festival?
Summerfest, always. We bring the coolest musical acts from just all parts of the country, and do it 3 times every year.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great place to listen to live music in Albuquerque.
Just because it's grody and it's got that grit. I love the launch pad.
Launch pad, all right. Great arts and cultural venue to spend either a really cold or a really hot day.
The aquarium, being indoors there, that one's really cool. I like the aquarium.
Good choice. Great place to take a walk.
Taking the loop around Roosevelt Park by UNM.
Favorite museum or gallery?
Oh, the Albuquerque History and Art Museum.
Favorite local food or Albuquerque restaurant that fuels your creativity?
From my upbringing, I would have to say the first answer would be the Doghouse.
Good choice.
But the next one down, I think El Modelo Tamale Factory.
Very good. Good choices. Okay, anything else that people like you would point them to in the arts?
My personal event that I host that I like to plug is Poetry and Beer. Happens the first Wednesday of every month, 7 p.m. at Tractor Brewing Company, Wells Park. But like I said, mine is just one of many shows.
You
so I
are
encourage
welcome to
people-
plug your own. Okay, you have earned your, what are you drinking today? Cold brew?
Cold brew.
All right, cheers.
Salud, thank you.
Salud. Salud and poesía.